Okay, so today in our 95 lesson, we're still on lesson 23, okay? And what are we talking about in lesson 23? Complex consonant patterns, okay? And we're learning which spellings to use for those sounds, right? And it can be kind of tricky, right? That's why it's called complex, okay? So, to start out, I want you to listen. We're going to be practicing some phoneme substitution, okay? So, I'll say a word, you repeat it, and then I'll tell you the sound that I want you to substitute or change in that word, okay? Ready? Everybody, say brick.
Brick.
Change the I to A. What is your new word? Break. Good. Now just this side. Say trot.
Trot.
Change A to A. What is your new word?
Trade.
Good job, JB. This side. Say spin.
Spin.
Change I to What's your new word?
Spun.
Spun. Now just the girls. Say scat.
Scat.
Change I to I. What is your new word?
Skit.
Skit. Good. Boys. Say flip.
Flip.
Change I to I. What's your new word?
Flap.
Flap.
Flat.
Flap. With a P at the end. Good. Okay. Now, everybody again. Say slap.
Slap.
Change the I to I. What's your new word?
Slip.
Slip. Say broom.
Broom.
Change the oo to I. What's your new word?
Rim.
Rim. Good. All right, last one. Say track.
Track.
Change the I to What is your new word?
Truck.
Truck. Very good. Very good. Okay. I want us to practice reading these words. Ready? We're going to go down the rows. Okay, ready? First row. Bunch. I want to hear everybody, okay? Bunch. Look at it again. It's bunch. She doesn't have that BR, okay? Bunch. Brush. Lodge. Cloak. Good. Next row.
Age. Speech. Dodge. Ring. Hatch. Squeak. Star. Snack. Black. Judge. Sage. Punch.
Good. And those words had what in them?
Complex consonant patterns.
It had those complex consonant patterns, right? So look at this first word. What was this first word?
Bunch.
Bunch. And what was the spelling of the complex consonant pattern in it?
CH.
Just that CH. And why did it have CH? Because it came after a what?
Short vowel.
A consonant, right? A consonant. Okay, like in branch. Good. Okay, we're going to practice reading this multi-syllable word, okay? So, first thing we do, what do we do first?
Find the
Find the vowels. What are our vowels? O and E. Good. Now we're going to underline them. Now we're going to draw a line between our syllables. Does anybody think they know? You think between the M and the P?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
It's between two consonants, right? But P and L are consonants too, though, right? So how do we know that we're supposed to divide between the M and the P?
That's because it puts them in two words.
It does, but a lot of times that PL goes together, right? So we divide it between the M and the P. Good job. Now let's read each syllable. Read that first syllable. What type of syllable is it? Close. Show me the sign for close. Good. Okay, let's read the second syllable. Flex. What type of syllable is it?
Close.
Close. Good. Show me close. Good. Very good. Now we're going to read the whole word. Ready?
Complex.
Complex. Good. Very good. Turn to page 189 in your workbook. you've got a chart with 9 words. And I want you to do that same thing that we just did, okay? What's the first thing you're gonna do?
Find the
Find the
vowels.
vowels. And what do we do to those vowels?
Underline.
Underline them. Underline the vowels in your workbook. And then what do you do?
Then we divide it.
Divide the word. Good. Do that now. And read those words as you're doing. You done, Madeline?
I'm done.
Very good. I like how you do those V's to make that sneaky. Okay, so we should be done. What's your first word?
Bandit.
Bandit. Make sure it looks like the example on the board, okay? What were your vowels in this word? In bandit. A and
I.
and you underline them. And where did you divide the word?
Between
Between the N and the D. Number 2, what's your word there?
Bonfire.
Look at it again.
Bonfire.
Bonfire. Make sure you connected that silent E, right? Long vowel, silent E. And what's your gesture for that? What's your gesture for that? Right? Number 3, what's your word?
Shamrock.
Shamrock. Shamrock. Good. Make sure you're checking yours. Make sure it looks like all mine on the board. Number 4. Attic. Good. Number 5. Nutmeg. Good. Number 6. Campus. Campus. Number 7.
Lactose.
Lactose. And that one's got a silent E on it too. Compute. Good. It's number 8. And last one, number 9. Disrupt. Good. Disrupt. Okay. Now yesterday you learned about a prefix, right?
Yes.
Does anybody remember what that prefix was? Hazel. Good. Mid was the one that y'all really learned about yesterday. And when we talk about a prefix, what is a prefix? Madeline? Don't shout out.
It's kind of like a word, but it goes in front of the root word to change the meaning.
Very good. It's a part of a word, and a prefix goes at the beginning of that root word, and it does change the meaning of the word. Very good, Madeline. So just like that prefix mid that we learned about yesterday, what does that mean? Mid. In the middle, right? So one of the examples it gave us yesterday was something about midnight. And we know that that word means what?
Middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. We're going to learn about another prefix today. Ready? We But the prefix we're going to learn about today is over, okay? Turn to page 188. On page 188, right over here. Okay, good. 188. Okay, mid was yesterday. Today we're talking about over. And over, what is the meaning of the prefix over?
Too much.
Too much. So if we have the word, what's the word right here? Overbaked. Listen while I read you this sentence, okay? And I want you to think about what that word overbaked might mean. Graham overbaked the cake so we could not use it for the party.
It means burnt.
If she overbaked it, and we know that the prefix over means too much, Rayleigh, what would that word overbaked mean?
Like she burnt it.
She burnt it, but what would, if we're using this language, too much in place of over, that would mean that she, what, Adeline?
She baked it too much.
Baked too much, good. Baked the cake too much. I want you to write that right there. For the meaning of overbaked, good. Then over on page 189, we've got 4 sentences. We're going to read the sentence and then we're going to write the meaning of the word, okay? Number 1, let's read it together. Ready? Mom said I overpaid for the rock at the gift shop. If you overpaid for something,
You paid too much.
paid too much. Good. Write that meaning right there on that chart. Good job. Number 2, Kylie, read number 2 for us.
Don't overload the shelf with books, or it will break.
Don't overload the shelf with books or it will break. What does that word overload mean?
You load too much.
Load too much. Load too much. Good. Writing it. Number 3, Owen, read number 3 for us.
Faith often
Overreacts.
when she tells her story.
What would that mean? Overacts.
Act too much.
Acts too much. Good. And number 4 says, the trees in the yard are overgrown. What would that word overgrown mean?
Grown too much.
Have grown too much. Good, grown too much. Okay, now we're going to practice finding these pattern words, okay? And these pattern words are going to be the complex consonant pattern words in the story, The Dude Ranch. What is a dude ranch? Does anybody know? Jacob, what do you think it is?
I think it's like a ranch with cows, maybe?
Maybe. A dude ranch is a place that you can visit and you can kind of experience what it's like to be a cowboy. Okay, so it probably does have some cows in there. Yeah. That's pretty cool. But listen, in this story, we're going to look for words with the complex consonants CK, K, TCH, CH, DGE, and GE. Okay? So when you find those words, I want you to underline them. And we know that, look, these words right here at the top, the spellings with CK, TCH, and DGE, they all come after what? A short vowel, right? And then the K, CH, and GE come after what? Long vowel or consonant, right? Anything else, okay? But after the short vowel, it's going to be CK, TCH, and DGE, okay? So turn to that story, The Dude Ranch. It's on page 185. Page 185 in your workbook. And see how that word ranch is already underlined for you? Because it's got that CH at the end, okay? So go ahead and underline those words with that complex consonant patterns in them, and then we'll check them together, okay? You can do it.